Now we come on to the feature race, the QE2, and to mark the occasion, Couch, I've put some music underneath. Can you hear it?
Oh yes, it's marvellous, isn't it? Oh, absolutely superb.
I like to put big music on for big occasions. This is actually called Big Band, this piece of music.
Is it really? But, yeah.
It marks the return of Frankel, of course.
You don't know who's playing a trumpet on it, do you?
I don't actually, I'll try and find out.
No, we'll be very
Frankel's the star turn on a star day.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No, not for me.
No?
Not for me at the price. Now, this race is littered with horses I've got. I remember years ago going to this meeting in Lumping on Bodgersham, who at the time Emery Cecil said was the best he'd had. And she got beaten by Mark of Esteem. I was mortified. And the Great Giants Causeway got beat in this race. It's an absolute graveyard for short price horses. It's very easy to see why, isn't it? It's in the middle of October.
Yeah.
You know, also like Frankel, been on the go since March. Emery's had this on the go since March, getting it ready for the Greenham.
Yeah.
Very, very hard for horses. And we said this before the champion, Cesaro champion, I didn't know about horses having a long, hard season, and it's very hard for them to keep their form. And it's right, isn't it? That's why the French sort of like after the French Derby and that put their horses away and come back to win the Arc.
So how do you expect him to run? Do you think he's going to blow out, or do you think he'll
I think he'll be there
second? Or?
I think he'll be there just at 1 to 3. I couldn't possibly think of backing him with the record of favourites in the race. It's not, you know, it's the end of the season. We see last week at Newmarket all the turn-ups, the 24 to 1 shot in the Dewhurst. You know, stall 36 winning the Cesaro, didn't we? You know, it's a weird time of year. Yeah. And it's the same every year because of the time, you know, because of when it is. Again, all known form, but Frankel was only 2 lengths in front of X Celebration in St James Palace. And I know that Adam Kirby that day said X Celebration had been closed, but he fell out of the stalls that day, lost his footing at the start. That was over coursing distance. Now Henry's put Bullet Train in. Now Bullet Train leaves Frankel in all this work at home. He's an half brother to Frankel, Bullet Train, but hasn't got his ability. Now, whether this will be good enough to lead the field, I really do worry, because he's a mile and a half horse, and I just don't think he'd have the speed to lead him. As we see with Frankel, very hard-putting animal. Again, it'll be very interesting to see how Frankel is in the paddock. You know, normally sweat something. Has he gone over the top? You know, Emery Cecil, so Henry's making good vibes about him, but I've been doing this job 25 years, Rob. I've never seen a trainer yet say my horse is working crap, don't back it. Immortal Verse.
You haven't heard that it's been working disappointingly.
Henry said it's working really well. But I'm saying you never see in paper before a horse runs, in my 25 years of working in journalism, a trainer turn around and say my horse is working awful, don't back it. Every horse you ever read is working well, isn't it?
Okay.
Do you not notice that?
No, well, obviously, yeah. So you're going to move on to Immortal Verse?
Yeah, again, a French creature, filly. She won the Coronation Stakes here at the Royal Jamboree. That form's not very good. She then went and beat Goldie Cova, which was a funny race, that race in France, because the pacemakers went out in front and the 3 horses who were at the back finished 1, 2, 3. Goldie Cova's not the filly she was, beaten by Dream Ahead again in the foray the other day. And I can't have Immortal Verse. She's run 7 times. The only time she's run with good in the ground description, she was 11th of 16th in the French 1000 Guineas. Totally didn't give her a run in. So for that reason, I'm out. Which
leads us on to the bet of the century, in your opinion?
I think so. The each way bet. Well, let's get it right. X Celebration. Now, there's only 2 lengths behind Frankel. Probably, if someone put a gun at me and said, what's going to win it? I'd say Frankel at 3's on. But X Celebration's around about 6 to 1 shot, Rob, is he still for the each way value?
Yeah, probably 6, 7 to 1.
The place terms, you know, he's a tremendous bet holder, X Celebration. He really is. He'll still get 6 to 1 about him. 50 odds a place. Tremendous. I can't have, for the life of me, 3 horses finishing in front of him, can you?
It's been a long, hard season for him as well.
But the thing about this horse, Rob, is
why does he differ from Frankel in the length of the season?
Because I think he's improving. In the Greenham, he was beat 6 lengths by him. And a friend of mine who does a paddock, a very, very good paddock judge, just thinks he's improved every single time. Frankel had a lot of hard races, not hard races, but he had a few races as a 2-year-old, didn't he? He was a top-class 2-year-old. X Celebration wasn't. He'd only won a maiden, whatever. Then he ran in a Greenham 6 lengths behind. Then he won the German Guineas. Then he was only 2 lengths off Frankel in St James Palace. Then he had a lovely, nice long break, didn't he? He come back and he was so impressive in the Hungerford, Robin. We tipped him up. Do you remember I said it was a real good bet in that? He won by 6 lengths. He annihilated them, didn't he? He looked a different class. And then he went to France. He won a Group 1 in France. Something Frankel's not done. He won the Prix de Moulin with Jamie Spencer on board. He looked a real good animal that day. Really did quicken that well. And I just think he's improving. I think Frankel's got that marker, say 140, 150, you know, he's just on that 140 sort of level. And I just think X Celebration just been gradually closing the gap. And again, at the prices, I just cannot see any way X Celebration not being in the 3.
Okay. X Celebration each way. I'm quite pleased this chat's come to an end because that music's getting on my nerves.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That could be worse, could be JLS, couldn't it?